Hello and welcome to the Claret Blue podcast. It's Fan Zone time, where John Townley and I take your comments, questions and opinions and discuss the upcoming game. It's Newcastle away on Sunday, John. You'll be making the journey up there. Fenerbahce, back to wherever you live now and up to Newcastle in the space of 3 days. Busy old time for you.
Yeah, definitely. It's a very busy week. It's been a busy time of year. Obviously, we had the festive fixtures and now it's still January window, and Fenerbahce away, Newcastle away, it doesn't get, to be honest, more difficult in terms of journeys than that, I don't think, in a week.
And matches as well. I mean, obviously, we've navigated the Fenerbahce one well and won, so if we can do the same for Newcastle, absolutely happy days. I said then, wherever you live now. I do know where that is. I didn't want to give it away in case it was some kind of secret.
Sunny Barcelona.
Do you want to pick a comment to start the show, John?
Shining Sancho.
Shining Sancho. With McGinn out for a couple of weeks, says Big Dave, is this a real chance for Sancho, the Sanch, to shine on our right side? The Sancho, or Sanchez, as Matt Kendrick would say. Yeah, potentially it absolutely is. We did our Q&A episode on Thursday night where somebody suggested that Tammy and Sancho are already good mates, and if they can hit off a relationship and Sancho's assisting Tammy for goals in the second half of the season, we're all here for that. So yeah, it's an opportunity for Sancho, of course it is.
Well, if it's not him, who is it? It's going to be, not to go through the team already, but Rodgers will play, and you may see Tielemans as a 10, which then would leave Sancho, Buendia and Gasson. I mean, I think it's brilliant that he scored his first goal, and it's the goal that's decided the game. And he obviously, he played well. Yeah, I would temper it slightly, because I did think that if you're a winger or any sort of forward player, you're licking your lips playing that Fenerbahce team. The space that they afforded was unbelievable. I presume it came across. We were watching the same thing. You were watching on TV. I was watching it in the stands. But we had a very, we're well up. So you get a really nice view of the pitch, and I always like that view. It's kind of like the Leipzig game last year. You can see every pass before it's made, and the space that Villa had is wide open for Sancho to have one of his better games. Probably his second best or best. I don't know. Chelsea's obviously up there as well. So yeah, not to sort of dampen his performance, but I just thought
Newcastle will be harder for him, won't it?
I think so. Well, yeah, it should be. If Newcastle leave that space, Eddie Howe will change that within minutes, I'm sure, because it just felt like a great opportunity for him, and he did well. He took that chance as well. Literally took his chance with a header, and then the other one, I think he was unlucky, to be fair. He takes a touch, he's cool around the goalkeeper, and then it's blocked off the line. So no, very encouraged by him.
We'll take it in turns to pick topics. I'm going to go injuries next. Poor title. Couldn't think of anything better. This is from Danny in Colorado. Why does it take so long for us to know about injuries? In the US, within 15 minutes of the Denver Broncos. Are you familiar with NFL, John?
No, to be honest, no. I think it's quite slow.
Denver Broncos winning their playoff match. We knew that Bo Nix, the Broncos quarterback, had broken his ankle. That's like a tongue twister, that. Bo Nix, the Broncos quarterback, broke his ankle. Players in the NFL are able to be scanned immediately after they are taken off the pitch, and news of their injury is known very quickly. In the Premier League, we hear it might be a few weeks. We're still waiting on doctor reports. Do Premier League clubs not have the same medical facilities as those in the NFL?
It's about reporting that, right? I don't know what the case is in America.
Is that a patient confidentiality kind of thing?
But I think this is more of a situation. For example, when Emery says Megan is some weeks away, we're still checking doctors, and Kamara's the same thing. They'll have a rough idea of what's going on here, and I'm sure they could probably speed up that process somehow. I don't know what the situation is in America, though, so I can't really compare it. But maybe it's like a reporting thing of if, I don't know, X news happens, injury related, it's just shared straight away. Whereas it's a bit more discreet. Or is
it in Villa's benefit not to reveal? Let's say, and this is absolutely just hypothetical,
especially in a transfer window.
Yeah, McGinn is out for 2 months. It's beneficial to the players that Villa are trying to sign to replace him. The club, to not know that McGinn is out seriously injured, because if you're the selling club, you go, Villa are desperate.
Well, yeah, that would be one reason. I can't really compare it because I don't know what happens in the NFL and America more widely. But yeah, there's not like a specific thing. It's not that medical facilities are better or anything like that, no.
Okay, different topic, please.
Stunted game plan.
Stunted game plan. Okay, from memory, a lot of our losses have come alongside an injury throughout the game, and this has stunted our game plan. Losing McGinn versus Everton completely changed the balance of momentum. This also happened against Arsenal when we lost Onana. What are your thoughts? And could you look into our previous losses and poor results and see if you think the same thing happened? I mean, that is an interesting case study that I've not been able to do before this evening. That one was sent from Joleon Lescott's pocket.
Must have been accidental.
There absolutely is something in that. I think the feeling of losing McGinn, your captain, in a big game like that has an effect. And Onana against Arsenal is a good example. Going into a game knowing you're without McGinn is one thing, and you can prepare all week for it, knowing he's not going to be available for X amount of weeks. You get used to the idea. Whoever is going to be the captain, they step into the game knowing their role. They know everything that's happened in the week, knowing that's going to be the case. To lose players during a game and players like captains, it does affect the state of the game.
Impacts momentum from a tactical point of view, and it's a mental thing as well. Definitely.
Bad ones as well, like Newcastle at St James's at the start of the year we qualified.
Yeah, that was.
You knew it was a bad one, and we capitulated because of the psychology of it.
And we did a video on that, basically, just like we essentially let Villa off on that one, didn't we? We said, like, you know what, losing 5-1 is like, you would go into your shell if your big colossal centre back who's had an ACL injury before and really struggled with it as well mentally has just gone down, and you know he's going to be out for a very long time. You're not really thinking about, he's actually just run off my shoulder and it's a goal. Like, that's it. So, yeah, definitely a mental thing. I think that's a big part.
I'm going to go next with moulding Matson. There's two here. First one from no new midfielders yet. Oi! I would start Dean on the left and use Matson in the double pivot. Reason is he's good with dribbling, good going forward, and hard to beat on the dribble. Why is this not possible? Think, people. Secondly, also, maybe this is the same person. Voice of the Mountain says, you guys need to listen to Voice of the Mountain. Have I not told you? Matson is a good stopgap in the midfield, even centrally. Yes, is the answer to that one.
I think Voice of the Mountain is having a conversation with himself there.
Is Voice of the Mountain going to keep asking himself questions and answering them? Yes, he is. Is Matson in midfield in the double pivot alongside a Tielemans, for example, the answer?
I don't mind Matson inverting if required. He did it at Dortmund and the Terzic and did it well. Yeah. But to play in the double pivot from the start, I don't see why we would need to.
He's not physical at all in Villa's role.
Like you can, if you're building up or in a sequence of play or something, Matson can cover a different area that isn't just hugging the touchline. Like, he's a better footballer than just. He's not one dimensional. He's a good player. To play in a double pivot instead of a few different players, I wouldn't do that. We are obviously light in the midfield area, but I'd rather have Bogard or Tielemans or Onana in that midfield before
I'd rather have
Lindelof before Matson. Yeah,
that's not I'd love to see Lindelof there. I think he'd do really well. I think he could do a job, but I'd have him in there before I got to Matson. I think there's a proper crisis for that.
We can have a conversation more about Matson playing in a different role that isn't left back, more specifically left wing. I think that's something that we should have done against Everton. And just on Matson quickly, I think he's developed well this season, started to show more signs and is now doing it consistently. So I'm not saying I'm glad that he's overtaken Luca Dean in a way that's like negative to Luca Dean. Luca Dean's been a really good servant to this club and hopefully will continue to be. But Matson, I remember saying earlier in the season, I want to see him have a run of games now, because I just think the profile of play that he adds a lot to the side that we don't have.
Okay, you pick me a topic, please. There's only a few today, so we're going to kind of keep this quite short. Obviously, the game is tomorrow, so go on then, John.
Mission failed.
After Everton, you said if we failed to bring in new signings before Newcastle, the club would almost be failing to do its duty to Unai and the rest of the team. What are your thoughts on this now, as no significant progress has been made on any deals? Obviously, we did a show on Friday night where we spoke about Tammy Abraham. That maybe has been announced by this time this video comes out, or is announced soon, but won't play against Newcastle, Salzburg, and his debut likely to be Brentford. So, Villa failed to bring somebody in to replace Marlon for 2 Premier League matches. Beat Fenerbahce, but new players wouldn't be able to impact that anyway. Again, you kind of get away with that would we have used Marlon if he was still here? Yeah, obviously. But we won without him, so fine. If we are 60 minutes into that Newcastle game and need a goal and have no forward option to change it up, it's still, that's a failure still.
Yeah, I think Villa would admit themselves it's a mistake to let one leave and not have one ready to go, especially for more than one league game. And it's Newcastle away as well. It's a tough game. But as I said, as kind of a caveat for a bit of balance, I don't know the ins and outs of that Marlon deal.
No, fair.
I.e., were Roma ready to pull the plug if it wasn't done, pronto. So I'm not going to criticise it too much, but I will say, without knowing the Marlon situation exactly, I think it's a mistake to do that. Yeah, and I think we can all see that. It's pretty obvious. If you're going to let someone leave, you want to have someone else ready to go. Villa didn't have that complicated deal, of course, with Besiktas. If it is just going to be the Newcastle game, hopefully we can get a result and we can then move on with Tammy in the squad if, as expected, he signs.
Selfless Villa. Are Villa too selfless in the final third? Watching the front line against Fenerbahce, I felt there were times where we made one too many passes and ended up wasting a decent shooting opportunity trying to set up a perfect one. That was from Marco Asensio's hair product. Yeah, we've spoken about this before. There are times where it feels like we're trying to craft the perfect move or the perfect goal, and occasionally that's absolutely fine because sometimes it comes off. And there were times prior to us scoring from outside the box every week where you did feel like, can we just shoot a bit more? Can we do that? We do feel like we've moved away from that a little bit over the last couple of weeks. That we're
Did
not
you kick the ball in the goal?
that we're not shooting from distance as much as we were maybe pre-Christmas. And there are times where you think, just have a shot. What are we messing around for?
Is this based after Fenerbahce, right?
This was sent after Fenerbahce, yeah.
Yeah. So this isn't an excuse, but it felt to me like there was just too much space in Villa, almost to the point where we were hesitating, thinking like, and this is a thing in football. If anyone's played football at any sort of decent level, it is a mental thing of when you have so much space, you overthink it. You think, shall I go alone and shall I play that pass? I'll wait for the right time to make that pass. And it's a mental. It's not done on instinct, right? It's odd, but Villa, for example, like the game against Chelsea, the game against Spurs, a number of the wins that they had in that 8-match league winning run, they'd be winning matches without many chances, but they'd be scoring from 2 or 3 that they'd get. Against Fenerbahce, they probably could have scored about 5 or 6 based on the kind of positions they found themselves in. So I think they were maybe just overthinking it a little bit. Frustrating. I don't know if it's being selfless. I don't think there's anything wrong with playing the right pass to then score. We go from one way of being, we score too many long range shots to the point of it's not sustainable, to then now being we make too many passes. Like I don't think it's not a worry for me. The Fenerbahce game, however, I was so frustrated, especially after Artukoglu scored his goal. I was thinking, this is so typical.
Honestly.
But I don't think it's a big concern of mine. I'd rather my players be selfless than selfish, I think.
Before we do the last couple, should we go and try and pick an 11 for the Newcastle game, or what we think it might be? I think Martinez will come back in.
Depends how he feels. Like, there's nothing, only he knows if he's going to play,
My gut would be he'll be back for that one and then miss Salzburg and then play Brentford.
Possibly. Yeah, we don't know anymore. Cash, Konsa, Pau, Matson.
Ooh, let me stop you there. Pau, you sure?
Yeah. And that's nothing against
physicality of.
No, that's nothing against Tielemans. It's the first game, wasn't it, for a long time.
I think Lindelof and Konsa is what I'd go for.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you? No, I think Pau will start.
I don't think Tielemans will start 2 games so quick after just being out.
No, I thought you were going for Mings at left side.
I think he's the choice.
Left side or right side for me.
He's who I'd want to play, I think.
Who?
Mings, but I don't think he'll be able to start 2 games so quickly.
Yeah, he was sore.
I'd be worried about Pau's physicality against Vissa or Voltemada, to be honest.
I'm not sure. I think Voltemada is obviously a big lad, but he's quite pretty and he's very technically good. I don't know. I don't look at Newcastle too much. It's taken us a while to actually talk about how I feel about the game, or you as well. But I'm quietly confident that we can get there.
Oh, yeah.
Go there and get. Yeah, I am. I've said it for a few weeks now. I just think that I just feel quietly confident, and I don't want us to sort of. I know you have to play to the kind of not the occasion. You have to play to what's against you, but at the same time, I don't really want to be thinking play Mings or play Lindelof to combat this. I think, well, play Pau because we play our best football when Pau plays.
Yeah,
and that is true. We will come under pressure, and I know Lindelof's had a fantastic. Well, in the main, it's been fantastic. But if Newcastle are putting pressure on us, I don't think Lindelof's going to do everything in his power to prevent them score. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, if Newcastle are going to bombard us with pressure, they're probably going to score, whether Lindelof plays or Pau Torres plays. I'm surprised you've said I think Powell's a shoo-in. I think
I won't go that far. If he plays, I'm not going to be like, whoa, what a mad decision that is for me, and I can't believe it. If he plays, like, yeah, sound. But I
would be very surprised if Powell doesn't play.
Yeah. Oh, we've never disagreed this much for a long time. I can't wait to see the team news now to see who's right.
What makes you think that? Because unless I've drawn a blank in my own brain, Powell plays. No, almost every league.
Yeah, like we normally say, don't we? Pound for the league and change it for you.
You've just, I don't mean this in a way, but like you've kind of confused me because no, mate, not at all. But you're trying to bring Lindelof in to essentially drop Pau, is what you're saying? Because that would be it, right?
That, yeah. So Pau obviously made the mistake for the Everton goal, didn't he? Which is also playing on my mind a little bit. But I've just got visions of him. A long aerial ball and him kind of dallying a bit and feeling like, Lindelof would just kind of blasted that away with his head. Do you know
I get it. No, I get it. I just think in our winning run, the difference in a few of those games was Pau at the back returning. I just think he's one mistake or maybe one or two games that he didn't quite play well in. We suddenly think, actually, Pau's the problem here. Take him out. Yeah. And then something else will work. And then when Pau comes back, it's like, the guy's a Rolls Royce. Like,
yeah, I also agree with that. I think we're going to go into score prediction, even though we've got a couple of mailbags. I would be happy and would take a draw now. I would as well. In my head,
I would. Yeah.
I think in my head, Lindelof playing instead of Pau gives us a better chance of not losing. Pau playing probably gives us a better chance of winning. And I'm happy with the draw. So I'd rather be more defensively solid and try and get out of there with a clean sheet.
I know what you're saying there. I would argue that if we have a better chance of winning, we have a better chance of drawing. But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you're trying to say. In midfield, I'd probably play Bogard and Onana and then put Tielemans 10. I think so, yeah, because then you have the progression of power in defence. And I would go Rodgers and Watkins. And if he's fit, I would still play Buendia.
Would you?
Yeah, I would, yeah.
On the right?
No.
Rodgers on the right?
No.
No?
I don't know.
You stitched yourself here. If Tielemans is playing further forward, he's central. So Rodgers or Buendia are playing left and right.
This is the problem when you have no McGinn and why he's overlooked so many times, because you can fit other players quite seamlessly because McGinn is such a useful what's the right word? What's the word done? Versatile player.
Bogard and Onana, Tielemans further forward. Rodgers left. Say Sancho right. Watkins. Or Tielemans and Onana. Buendia further forward. Rodgers, Sancho and Watkins up front. You drop Bogard out.
I actually think Gesson could be an option here as well. Not to complicate things further.
What about Leon Bailey?
Got this far without Leon Bailey, haven't we? Wow. Have we done that?
Is he fit?
He is fit. Yeah, he'll be in the squad. Gesson, I only bring up Gesson because Lewis Hall's having a fantastic season for Newcastle and he's probably at the moment one of the best players. He is one of the best players. Maybe the best player they have at the moment in terms of form. Do you just say to Gesson, forget about what you're going to do with the ball. Just follow him. Just keep ratting around because he can do that.
Is that not the... Oh, don't worry about Lindelof and what Newcastle are going to do. Play your best team. Why are we worried about Lewis Hall and Gesson? Come on, I've got you there.
No, because on the right, it's a problem position. No, like Pau Torres can. We know he plays an instrumental part in us winning football matches, and he can do that. I don't look at Sancho and think like he's going to win us the game. I don't think about Gesson winning the game. I don't see him doing the game in Newcastle. Prove me wrong again.
I mean, this is all fair pre-match discussion. We're both predicting the future. This is why we never.
Than I think we'd have, to be honest.
No, but this is why we never did a proper preview because it's all guesswork. It could be Sancho, it could be Gesson, it could be Lindelof, could be Pau. This is all quite futile, really.
We don't spend hours studying Newcastle, but I just know Lewis Hall's a good player, and that we need to do some sort of job on him. But it would appear to me that he'd have quite a lot of freedom, I think, if Sancho played on the right.
Okay, a couple of mailbags left. Do you want to pick the penultimate one?
Sure. Let's go with Yuri. Yuri not so good at corners, mate.
Yuri not so good at corners, mate. Yuri Tielemans is my favourite football player by a wide... I always repeat the title. Yuri Tielemans is my favourite football player by a wide margin, says Lily. That said, I look forward to the day he never takes another corner kick. Jesus, remember when he had to do penalties? Haven't we suffered enough? Hasn't he? I did think this actually during the game on Thursday, but didn't mention it in the post-match. A couple of his corners were pretty shoddy, actually, for a player that's so technically good.
The first one he took, though, I remember that, and Mings headed the ball over.
Yes,
so
yeah. Could have got an assist then.
That's
having said all that.
Yeah, that's sort of my recollection from Tielemans' crosses.
There's a couple that were like near post that were just a bit like, ugh.
Yeah, I mean, it's my pet hate in football when players don't clear the first man from a corner. It's so frustrating. But as Lily says there, Tielemans is an exceptional footballer, so
can't be good at everything, can he?
I think he probably can, to be honest. So maybe this is like should we blame his teammates and say, why is no one making the run to the front post?
Yeah. I'm happy to do that.
To be honest, I think prefer Tielemans to be outside the box anyway in corners because quite often we do go short, and then if we can work an opportunity for him on the edge of the box, then if nothing else, the opposition, they don't want to leave Tielemans unmarked. Just something on Tielemans quickly. I feel like we're missing a Tielemans worldie. I don't think he scored. I was just
going to ask you exactly the same thing. His goal reel is unbelievable pre-Villa. He's got a couple of good goals for us, to be fair.
Yeah.
But like 30-yard Duran level screamers out of nothing.
I think he's saving.
I've never seen that.
I think he's saving one.
Not for the Europa League final.
Oh, you've done it, not me.
That's because he scored one in the FA Cup final, didn't he, for Leicester? That was a worldie.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yes, please, Yuri, if you're listening, we could have a shot from 30 yards on Sunday and see if it goes in. Final comment from the mailbag.
I hope you mean Nashville.
The final comment in the mailbag is next season already. What? How successful do you guys see us being next season?
What?
Especially if we get Champions League.
Who's asked this question?
I know it's a bit early on January 24th, but I always wonder how many players may be better after more of Emery's coaching, so Gesson, etc. Abraham when he comes in. That question, as you asked, John, is from John Downey's trousers. I blame them. Far too early to be looking ahead to next season. I get the point. I'm kind of settled on the fact that we'll be in the Champions League and it'll be fine and we'll sign players and it'll all be hunky dory. But I'm focused on the here and now, right?
Yeah, I have no interest in next season whatsoever. I'm sorry, but I'm excited for the rest of the season. And
what about like retaining our FA Cup winners trophy and the reigning Europa League champions?
I was going to say we can't retain the Europa League, but I think
no,
you can't.
Chelsea did. No, they didn't. They won the Champions League and they won the Europa League back to back, which is now impossible.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, frustrating we did with that Conference League a few years ago because we'd have a chance to do the treble in terms of the European trophies now, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Anyway, just quickly on the Europa, I remember I was so mad. Everyone was after that game at Old Trafford at the final day of the season. But life has a way of sort of working things out, and I would rather be in the Europa League this season than the Champions League. And I'm not saying that because we got. Well, no, sorry. I am saying it because we have a chance of winning it. Don't know what I was trying to suggest there, but what do you think, Dan?
I don't know, mate. It's getting late. I don't know if I think anything.
I actually thought this.
This is Friday night. Sorry, by the way, after we did the live stream. For those watching this on Saturday, and what are they on about? That's a long day.
I feel like we haven't spoken about Newcastle at all here. I've got some stats that I could read out. I don't want to because they're terrible for Villa's part of it, so I'm not going to. But actually, earlier in the season, I just thought I'm glad that we're in the Europa League. Yeah, and I want to be in the Champions League next season. I don't want to be in the Europa League again.
Oh no, definitely not. That'd be a disaster.
Yeah, I'd rather win the Europa League than get to the final of the Champions League. How's that for a question for you? What would you rather do?
Just because I think it might annoy you, I'm going to go the Champions League option.
That's just ridiculous. Because you've just literally passed up on silver.
Well, not necessarily.
I think that's a great question because I think that divides people of the people who need the revenue and stuff, which is me as well. But I think it's a good question though.
No, it is.
Champions League final. By the way, you lose. You lose the Champions League.
Okay. I was about to say, I'm going on the technicality that you just mean you reach the final.
No, sorry, I meant
so
you
I'd then back us that there's a chance if we got this far, we might win the bloody thing.
No,
is what I was thinking.
You reach the final, but you don't win it. You just reach the final. So you've got all the kind of glitz and glamour, and everyone knows that Aston Villa made the final of the Champions League.
For Villa in this 2026, I'd pick the Europa League trophy. Yeah.
What about next year?
God's sake. So what happened this year? We don't win it.
We don't win it.
I can't even compute it because if we're in the Europa League next year, it's a humongous failure. It means we don't win it this year and we fall outside the top 5. Like, one of those things is definitely going to happen, in my opinion. So for it neither to happen and we're in the Europa League again, we have to win it, I guess, then at some point. But Christ, I don't want to be in it next year.
No.
Thank you for joining me on this one, John. Hopefully people enjoyed it. We answered all your questions sent into the mailbag post Fenerbahce. Almost, I say all of them. Almost all of them. We didn't give a specific score prediction. I think it'll be a draw. I'd take a draw, and I think it will be a draw. I've gone 1-1 for mine.
2-1 Villa, I think.
2-1 Villa. Oh, I hope you're right. Yeah. That'd be massive. Back-to-back away wins at Fenerbahce and Newcastle would be.
Yeah.
That'd be big.
It'd be poor. That's a poor.
You'd be buzzing if that happened. I really hope you're right. I'll be back on Sunday night for a post-match show. Don't know who the guest is yet, but I'll be here no matter what. So hopefully, John, we're talking about a massive 3 points for Villa, and everyone will be absolutely buzzing. So that'll be lovely. I look forward to that. Thank you for watching along or listening to this episode of the Claret podcast, and I'll see you Sunday night. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.